we going crazy. We at the top and we never gonna stop. Hop in a ghost, I'ma get Swayze. I just got off of the jet and I cry. I went in a Humvee, I lie. I be on go cause I come from the shot. I'm shooting back, I ain't ducking no shots. Got power like Samson, I cut off the locks. Sharek, Timmer, in the cut like I'm Fredo Santana. Buju Banton, I hop in the Bama, the world is mine. I'm Tony Montana, I'm Pelican Fly. Diamonds on me cause I'm rapping a rock. I'ma go hard, I ain't killing them soft. I'm up in the hills, I feel like I'm Lauren, you ready or not? I like who got businesses, I'm CEO of mine. 1980 Prezi Rolly, we been working overtime. The witness, the police, the pigs, I don't eat swine. Son of Jacob, this biblical, my flow, the holy God. Save money ground up in the gutter where they found us. Stones in the faint mouth rush. More vacays, more bucks, more race, more foreign trucks, more on a tour bus, more pour cup. Toast to the winners, throw it up.
Juicy, where the drums at?
Yeah. Sound like some superheroes. Some black superheroes. Oh, yeah. Every block, every hood, every city, every ghetto. Need a black superhero. Every block, every hood, every city, every ghetto. Need a black superhero.
You need a bro like me. Military mind stated and I keep in a degree. You can label me a Huey P. Made a martyr out of Martin, out of Malcolm, out of Mega. I refuse to let these dirty devils make Michael a beggar. A hero CEO, I will go Magneto for my people. Give me liberty or death, that is my credo, not my ego. Dressed in a tuxedo, enter party, alter ego. Killed your leader, in gazebo, did it for the people. Love what motivated, I did not do it for hatred. But I truly hate the devil, I cannot debate or fake it. I was asked a question and the asker thought it hard. If I was facing death and I could ask one thing of God, I would ask for every to be free here and abroad. And to be rightfully celebrated as a child of God. And to be rightfully celebrated as a child of God.
Need a black superhero. Every block, every hood, every city, every ghetto. Need a black superhero. Our own kind took nip from us. Money still reading God we trust. Truthfully we envy, so why we so envious? And why our own kind envy us? Pac said it's hard, but we gotta keep our head up. Going even though we know we fed up. It's hell attention, cause we ain't careful where we all pay attention. I need all my real soldiers on the front line, fighting for the right just one time. So unstoppable together at the same time, with the same mind. Yeah, we're gonna be high and always above what's beneath us. So every block, every hood, every city, every ghetto. Need a black superhero. Every block, every hood, every city, every ghetto. Need a black superhero.
I'm talking bulletproof kind of suit, reflect the struggle that they put us through. With the strength to fight the power like Chuck D do. With the insight to be equal. Note the sky needed a voice that finds reason to multiply. People in the streets for the cause. Marching on Washington, might as well be walking through walls. Type of superhero show up when ain't no one to call. That'll shield you from them shields that been killing us all. High beams for eyes to peek the villains in the dark. Power of resolution for a war would even start. The knowledge to build and grow where they live and take care of the kids and the older folk. The queen cause they need it most. Politics with the kings. About economic growth. Cure PTSD. Cause mental health ain't a joke. Feed the hungry and dope. Everyone would know. Everywhere we go.
We're about 40 miles south of Candlestick Point as we welcome you inside Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara. Today, we've got a Week 13 matchup for you here between the Miami Dolphins and the San Francisco 49ers. The calendar has turned to December, and we're in the home stretch now as we're underway in Week 13. Fielded right around the 8. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27.
Hurry!
They'll run here with Raheem Mostert. He'll be stopped at the 35, but not before he picks up 7 yards. This defense for the Niners, they were very good last week in the win over New Orleans.
And I'm eager to see the game plan and trying to attack them this week, because when you take it away 4 times through interceptions, what do you do now when you go into a game? Do you decide you can't throw the ball? Do you try and run it more? Or do you tell your quarterback, make sure you see your guys open before you deliver?
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. They run with Mostert off the option. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. A Miami first down, that one going for a gain of 11. He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, said he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week before that didn't think that's just going to naturally continue? Just make sure you feed me the football. And that's what they're all about. Continuity, rhythm, number of carries. Just keep giving it to them.
And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line. And early on, they're picking up right where they left off last week.
And I know a lot of coaches say each game is its own. You don't really have carryover. This feels like carryover. So much confidence from the previous game that they're using to their advantage now.
So from inside Niner territory now, this is 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. Play action, now it's Tua. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people. But you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
On 1st and 10, it's Mostert. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. Raheem Mostert with his 13th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Dolphins get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. And they do exactly what they wanted to. Opening drive, they get into the end zone. They do it on the ground.
And not only is the person lugging the ball happy, of course, because he got it into the end zone. How about the offensive linemen and receivers who are blocking for him? They have to feel great about themselves, sticking it in the end zone on a running play.
Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. Fielded just outside the goal line. And a great return, solid field position. He's up all the way to the 45-yard line.
Well, you gave up the first touchdown of the game, but how about the response? Big-time return. Now it's their chance to try and put points on the board.
They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 at the 45. They'll start out here with the option left. And he's across midfield and into Miami territory. 6 yards there on the keeper at 2nd down.
Well, that's what he can do, when he keeps the football. It's not a huge game, but it shows how hard it can be to stop him.
Yeah, and I thought the defense had that one pretty well contained, and in fact, they probably came up and felt pretty good about what they did. Then they looked up and realized he still got good yardage out of it. He's a tough guy to stop.
Call that a loss of a yard, and things get a little more difficult here. 3rd and 5.
I think we call that season's greetings right there. He came up. Pow! Knocked him for a loss.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. From midfield, here's Lance. That's complete. It's Brandon Ayuk. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. That one good for 24 yards.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
And he'll be marked down right at the 20-yard line. The Niners had 7-4 on the year. And they were winners their last time out, so they'll be looking to make it 2 in a row.
And so much about football, partner, comes down to mindset. Being in the right frame of mind, and the best way to get in that good frame of mind, winning. So they come in feeling good. They've got the home crowd behind them. I think they're going to be tough to beat in this one.
Well, sometimes it's hard to take your eyes off this guy at the linebacker position. He can really cover some ground, and he did there to make that play.
And one thing about a play like this, if it's slow to develop, it can turn out poorly. And this play was definitely slow in developing, and that was one heck of an effort to sprint over there and get the man down before he can make anything happen.
Lance going to try and throw on 3rd down here. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Points 1, 2, and 3 in their defensive game plan was to get to the quarterback and knock the ball free. They did it there. Luckily, offense hangs on to it.
Yeah, that's got to serve as a wake-up. Because they can't afford to let the ball go over to the defense and miss opportunities. And I'm not saying it happened here, but you know what a good rule of thumb is when a play like that occurs? You know who usually recovers it? The guy who missed his block and let his quarterback get hit.
They run the option here on 1st and 10. And they're going to lose some on this play. Being knocked back to the 18. That's Byron Jones breaking up that play before it could really get started. So maybe just a momentary setback on what's been a great drive so far, but 2nd and 13 here. Lance throwing out wide for Samuel. And he's going to be brought down at about the 16.
They kept the receiver in the short field, but that let his quarterback get the ball quickly to him before either guy in double coverage could react.
After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. Ninth play of the drive coming up, and certainly not an easy one on 3rd and long. Shotgun now for Lance. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
That's a good job there creating the contact to force the incompletion. And now, since it's 4th down, that should set up a field goal situation.
And a nice sigh of relief defensively to be able to hold them to 3. The kick by Gold is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So both teams come away with points on their opening drives, and they still trail. They answered the touchdown with a field goal, but at least able to break that goose egg here early.
And that is what's important, right? Because they didn't let that initial touchdown go unanswered. Took the ball themselves, moved it downfield, and put it through the post for 3 points. Game on.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive.
They currently sit one game over 500 thanks to their victory a week ago. But, Charles, they've been really an up-and-down team all year. Do you think that they have enough to get into the playoffs?
Well, you did mention they've been up and down all year, so to me, it depends on what week you catch them. When they're at their best, I think they're definitely playoff worthy. But to me, they haven't been able to bring the intensity week in and week out, and that could be their Achilles heel.
On 2nd and 12, Tua. Got a man complete to Cedric Wilson. And they're able to get this one across the 35. First time they've hooked up here. Good for 17 and a first down.
Well, that was a fun one to watch right there. A nice in-breaking route and plenty of room in the middle of the field. And he was able to get behind the linebackers and grab the completion for a really good pickup.
Tua going to tap this forward on the jet sweep. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. On 2nd and 11 now. Tua. He's going to drop this underneath to Mostert. And some room to roam now. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. 28 yards the gain there on the catch and run.
A great job there, and that old cliche, taking what the defense gives you, comes right into play. Nothing too out of the ordinary about the throw. Just a little dump off over the middle. But what is out of the ordinary is what he did with it after the catch. Not only did he grab the ball, but how about the significant yardage he picked up after he pulled it in.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Here's Tagovailoa to throw. His throw incomplete.
They certainly thought he had an open look beyond the first down marker to his receiver, but they just couldn't connect, and that will send them back to the drawing board.
Got to get to the 26 for a first. This is 3rd down.
Ready, go.
Going to the air, Tagovailoa. That's caught by his big tight end, Mike Gesicki. And he is going to have the Dolphins first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
They've been moving the ball well, but this drive was in danger of stalling out. Fortunately, this is a nice throw here, and they're able to pick up a new set of downs.
Number 38.
On first down, Tagovailoa. They try to set up the screen. Oh, nearly disaster. But it's incomplete. Not much chance of that working. Almost intercepted in 2nd down.
Here we go.
Up the middle they go with Mostert. And not much. Maybe a yard down to the 23.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
An extra DB for the 49ers now on 3rd. They just do get the playoff as he'll look to throw. To a hit, and the ball is out.
A lot of bad news on that play for them, wasn't there? Lost the football, lost a lot of yardage, but I think the good news outweighs it. Able to retain possession. That was big for them.
Sanders' kick is good. And they push the lead up to a touchdown now at 10-3. So as it turns out, that sack doesn't wind up costing them, Charles. They at least get points, get 3 of them.
Yeah, that's where your kicker can really come to your rescue, because after the sack, there was a little consternation there. Are we out of field goal range? Are we going to be able to get 3? In this case, he stepped right up and gave them exactly what they needed.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. Just a lone field goal for them so far, trailing 10-3 as they come up 1st and 10. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Here's Lance. And he will find his man Samuel. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. It'll go as a first down for San Francisco on a pickup of 16.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there, because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
First down, here's Mitchell. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. A full 5-yard loss that time. It's going to make 2nd down pretty tough. Creeping up on a minute to play in this first half. On 2nd and 15 now. Lance. Trying for Ayuk, but it's intercepted. Picked off Byron Jones. And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 and a Dolphins touchdown. Well, Charles, as a defender yourself who made a few of those plays back in your day, I know you know there's no better feeling than a pick 6 for a defender.
And the big thing is when you take it and you realize you're out there and you've got a great chance to score, not to get overexcited and have one of the yard lines trip you up, or the turf monsters we used to call it, knock you down before you get to the end zone. That didn't happen on that play. He carried it home.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. And with a little under a minute remaining, they may try to put something together here just to try to cut into that deficit. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. He'll dump that one off to Mitchell. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. The Dolphins going to take their 2nd timeout as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this first half. The Dolphins bring on an extra defensive back on 3rd down. To throw, it's Lance. Got his target, Samuel. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside.
Yeah, these are the types of plays they're going to need to hit on if they're going to get back into this game. It hasn't been the greatest of first halves, but this is a nice throw here on 3rd down, and they keep the drive going.
Throwing on 1st down is Lance. To the sideline, and that is a heck of a catch as he was able to get both feet in. It's another first down as they look his way again, this time 19 yards.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half, but I like their countenance. I like the way that they're having panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They were starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Now San Francisco going to call their 2nd timeout as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. On 2nd down, here's Mitchell. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. Give him 3 yards on the run. Now they'll need to draw up something good here on 3rd and 13. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. And now they'll take a timeout defensively. After the second down play, they burn the timeout, making them sweat out the final few ticks here in the second quarter. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. So this will be spotted on the midfield logo. It's a 58-yard attempt. And I tell you what, he got it from 58. That had lots of leg behind it. So we have reached halftime here in an 11-point contest. As we'll send you back over to Orlando with our EA Sports Halftime Report, here's Jonathan Coachman. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. The 49ers going to have the football and trailing on the scoreboard as we get back underway on EA Sports. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
Here we go.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway.
Charles, it'll be interesting to see what adjustments this offense made in the locker room. Haven't really... Oh, Lance has it knocked free. The ball is loose.
We talk a lot about setting the tone to start the game. Well, you want to start the tone right in the third quarter as well, and nearly lost a football there in their first drive.
And sometimes we overdo it when we talk about halftime adjustments and what teams are going to do. Most of the time, it's just a matter of executing the game plan you brought in. But I'll guarantee you, they didn't draw that.
There he goes, left side. The 30, 10, 5, touchdown, 49ers. Well, they had their chances in the first half, you remember, but had to settle for 2 field goals. This time they come away with 6.
I think they actually got affirmation about what they were doing by getting a touchdown, because the field goals means they got in range but couldn't quite finish it off. This time they broke through, and that's great for the old confidence.
And on the sideline, difference of a feeling between 3 and 6, is it astronomical or no?
It can be at times, that's for sure. A lot of times the field goal feels like a disappointment. The touchdown, well, that tells you you're getting it done.
After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away.
Take it in at the 3.
And he'll be out of bounds across the 25.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. But Charles, they still have the lead despite their defense giving up a touchdown on the previous possession. And even though they have that lead, it feels like a back-and-forth ball game where to try to get momentum back, maybe they need at least 3 here on this drive.
I think you're right about that, Brandon, because your game plan doesn't change. I do believe your urgency does because of the last score that went against your team. So what you want to do now is have your own drive and try and make sure that that momentum stays in your camp.
Tua's throw is taken in by Waddle.
He's got this almost to the 40 before going out.
Tua to his Alabama teammate Waddle. First down, Miami.
And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss.
So they accept the penalty, of course, and push the offense backwards a bit.
Ready, straight.
Tua wants to throw it on 2nd down.
And they'll get this on the screen to Mostert.
And he'll get up to the 43-yard line.
Partner, I like the play call coming right after a tackle for a loss because this is an obvious passing situation. But instead, they pulled them a little bit with the screen, and they wound up getting back what they lost and then a little bit more.
So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage.
Throwing is Tagovailoa on 3rd down here. And the Niners get there and bring him down.
Multiple defenders getting home there for a loss of 11.
Here's Thomas Morstead now. And surprisingly, this is the first punt of the game for either team. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. This is taken at about the 14.
A nice return there of 11 to help mitigate a good punt.
And the Niners will go on offense. 1st and 10. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive.
The football changing hands here, and as this offense takes the field, Charles, they'd be fine with more of the same on this upcoming drive. Last time out, they found the end zone for 6.
And they're certainly hoping for more of the same, but the game plan, I doubt it'll just be a carbon copy of the last drive because I think this offense is ready to break out some new wrinkles and try some new things that might be hidden in their playbook. They want to use that confidence to its advantage while also keeping the defense from anticipating what's up next.
On 2nd and 12, Lance over the middle, complete. That's Mitchell. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Lance going to sneak it. Only a few inches needed on the sneak. He didn't get it, and now it's 4th down.
Well, that wound up backfiring. Instead of handing it to your workhorse fullback or running back, they went quarterback sneak, and now they have to punt it away.
They're going for it with the option right. And he will have 1st down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. Little read option, the end result, the 1st down, so a good read.
And the way teams are running it nowadays, they've added variety to it. You know, the original way was you read the defensive end. If he crashes down, you pull it and you go. Now they may not even block that person.
Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted.
Picked off Byron Jones.
And the Dolphins are going to take over a couple of yards shy of midfield.
CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
Here's a throw to his running back. It's complete.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it can turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
On 2nd down, Mostert.
And he's got this one across midfield into 49er territory. Give him 3 yards, and now they're left needing a conversion here on 3rd and 6.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature and make sure you don't get hurt.
So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we've played 3 quarters. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. Throwing now is Tagovailoa. And this is caught. That's Watkins. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. How about 25 yards on 3rd down? They'll take it.
And that certainly appears to be a critical conversion right there, because not only do they keep the drive going, they take valuable time off the clock as well. They have to feel really good about that last completion.
Here's a handoff to Mostert running left. And he'll get about 5 here as he'll take this down inside the 20-yard line. Good gain there on 1st down, and keeps them in a running situation probably.
They did everything right on that play, didn't they? They got the leverage up front, good blocking, nice hole for him, ends up picking up nice yardage, stays in bounds to keep the clock rolling. They are in charge of this scenario right now. They want to stay that way.
And not in any rush offensively. Defensively, though, they had a chance there to hit him for a loss. Couldn't get it done.
Looked like someone was able to knife into the backfield, but he wasn't able to get him down. But his compatriots, they were able to grab him at the line of scrimmage and not let him get any further downfield.
The offense on 3rd down, they've been okay. 2 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5.
Ready.
Looking to pass. Tua. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. So decision time now, because a field goal keeps it a 1-score game. What are you thinking?
Well, I'm looking at the down and distance, and that's where the issue comes in. It's not short enough that it's a no-brainer and you go for it. You have to analyze this one. To me, you take the field goal, take the points. I don't think you want to risk coming away with nothing.
The kick by Sanders is good, and the drive will wind up yielding 3. From a defensive perspective, though, I think maybe they're saying, hey, we did what we needed to do, kept this a 1-score game.
Yeah, without a doubt, because they were able to bleed some time off the clock, right? Put themselves in a good position, but it's not out of reach yet, okay? Being able to hold them to a field goal means that they do have a chance to come back and win this game.
And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And remember, despite giving up the field goal, this is still a 1-score game. They're in need of the touchdown and a 2-point conversion. A field goal on this drive likely doesn't do them much good. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the 1st down. They'll try and pick it up with McCaffrey. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down. A tale of 2 extremes. First carry, he went for a bundle. His second goes backward.
And how many times have we seen that happen? Because you get that big carry, and you come back and you're all fired up, and sometimes you force a run a little bit, right? Trying to break off that big carry again. And instead, it works opposite.
And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. fourth down conversion plays, you usually think 1, 2, 3 yards, maybe 10. Not there. What a huge pickup as the Sticks make a drastic shift forward. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Here's Lance to throw it. And he just gets rid of it. Throws it away. A wise move there. Looked like nobody open. Now 2nd down.
And when you've thrown as many interceptions as he has in this one, you definitely start getting a little hesitant to throw the ball out wide because that's prime pick-6 territory. That time, he made sure the only guy who was going to catch it was sitting in the 3rd row.
Oh, no, he lost the football. And this is picked up by the Dolphins. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. They'll be hoping to work a little clock and try to add on to this slim 4th quarter lead. But whatever happens on this drive, certainly a huge fumble recovery by their defense at this juncture.
Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
And this one also slow in developing as he's maybe getting back here to the line of scrimmage, but not much more than that.
And this is an absolutely big 3rd down that's been set up here, partner, and there's no other way to put it. The defense has to get a stop here if they have any hopes of winning this game.
Has to. You said big 3rd down. I'd put the word big in capital letters here. Backed up here, tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the 1st. That flag accepted, and it backs the offense up a little bit. After the delay, they're backed up even further for 3rd and long. Tua going to throw. He'll get this into the hands of Mostert. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. That's a gain of 11. Would have been a 1st down if not for that penalty moments ago. I hate to surrender the football when you're nursing a slim lead, but they're going to have to punt it away. Trust that defense.
It's the right play at this stage of the game as well. You don't need to press it here because you do have that little bit of a cushion, and you count on your D to make it stand up.
Here's Thomas Morstead now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. We've got a 1-score game with inside of 2 minutes remaining. So it's 49er football here as we get you reset. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. Now they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. Now Lance. And he's got room. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
They're not out of it yet, but in order to come back, they need to play clean football the rest of the way. He makes the correct read there, passing on challenging a blanket coverage and getting the first down with his legs instead.
Meanwhile, Lance's throw complete here to Ayuk. Second and 8. Lance back to throw.
And the grab by Croft.
And he's going to be taken down at about the 33.
It drives some people crazy to see those short throws underneath. They've got to find a way to gash the defense downfield.
Dolphins bring on an extra defensive back on third down.
Here's Lance.
And the throw there going to be incomplete.
With that incompletion, reality is staring them right in the face. This entire game is down to the next snap.
Here we go.
Desperation time here. Lance. Open man is Ayuk, complete.
Now San Francisco going to call their second timeout as they get it with just 19 seconds left on the clock. Fourth down, trailing in the fourth quarter. They felt compelled to go for it, and they got it.
Well, I'd look down at my play sheet, and what I would find, plays have been successful throughout the game that have worked at the distance you need, and that's exactly what they got done.
A new lease on life after the fourth down conversion. Here's first and 10. Lance looking to throw.
And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game.
Yard line, second and 11.
Back to throw. And he gets in just in the nick of time, so they get the touchdown they need. Now they need a two-point conversion to tie it.
We'll break down the touchdown later. It's two-point conversion time. Go to your script, pick your play, and go for it.
The late touchdown was only half the battle. Now they need the two-point conversion to tie the ball game.
Lance going to try to throw for this.
And it's caught. And with it, we are tied here in the fourth. Fitting for what's been a tight ball game. We're all even at 20 now as the kick's away. Fair catch called for and collected right at the 10-yard line. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive.
And Charles, obviously not much time left. I'm curious to see if there's enough for them to get into field goal range and try to win this thing.
And part of you and I both know the save calls to kneel and just take it into overtime. But it's also very tough to pass up a chance to win it right now as well. But remember, if you do attempt that, it's got to be a big play downfield and still leave yourself enough time to get your field goal unit out there and kick for the win.
Tua. And that's into the hands of Gesicki. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. And here in overtime, if the team that receives the ball scores a touchdown, it's over. If they don't, we can still have some more football.
That's exactly right. If they go down and kick a field goal, the other team gets a possession to either match it or score a touchdown to win the ball game. If both teams kick field goals, the next team to score wins. But if the receiving team throws a pick six or fumbles the ball and it gets picked up by the defense and they score, the game is over at that point.
So it's the 49ers who will get the football first with a chance to win it here in overtime. Fielded just outside the goal line. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And everyone knows the OT rules, Charles, but pretty simple formula. They go down and get a field goal, we continue play, but if they can find the end zone on this possession, ball game over.
And as meticulously as all teams plan for a game, I don't doubt for a second on that offense coordinator's play sheet, he's got some overtime plays that he wants to run. I know it sounds crazy, but they plan for everything. 1st and 10 all the way throughout the game, 2nd and 7, whatever. Right now, he's looking at that play sheet saying, if we get to overtime, what can we break out that they haven't seen?
They run over center with Mitchell. And a good pickup there. He gets about 6 up to midfield.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. You know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
Lance with a first throw in overtime. Short throw hauled in by Croft. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. 17 yards on the catch and run. It's a first down.
When you get a big tight end like this, sometimes it takes more than one man to bring him down. Oftentimes, your best bet, just jump on and hold on and wait for your teammates to arrive to help get him on the ground.
Running left, here's Mitchell. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
97.
On play action, Lance gets this one to Juszczyk. And they're going to move it down inside the 25.
Well, this has certainly been a nice drive with the way they've spread the football around. Here, they even get the fullback involved in the passing game. That's got to cause a lot of consternation on the defensive side. You've got to cover him, too. That makes things really difficult.
And they'll try and run the option to pick it up. And he's into the end zone for the touchdown and the game winner in OT. Well, Charles, a very simple mission anytime that you play on your home turf, and that is to defend your home turf. And today, that mission was accomplished.
Look, every offseason, every preseason, the head coach goes in front of the team and says, the mission for the season, defend our home field every time, split on the road, and we'll be in the playoffs. That's why defending the home field is vital.
So for San Francisco, it's an important win for their playoff hopes as they move to 8-4. And they'll get to stay home again next week as the Tampa Bay Buccaneers come to town. Meanwhile, for the Dolphins, they fall to 6-6 now on the campaign. And they will try to get back in the swing of things next week on the road.